Hi there, Charlie. Hi there, John. Just a quick video. Um, yeah, we're living in turbulent times now. You could even say biblical times. I was hearing that they'd found a red heifer which they'd slaughtered and got the ashes for. Red heifer is a prerequisite of religious Jewish people to consecrate the ground of the third temple, which they think that needs to be built for the Messiah to come. Of course, the third temple is directly underneath where currently is the Al-Aqsa Mosque. So yes, it's we can say that we're living in biblical apocalyptic times at the moment. I was casting my mind back many years ago when we're still on speaking terms with Miles and Lou, and I was thinking how I even bored myself going on ad nauseum about um, the threat of Islamic terrorism and infiltration of the West. I can't remember how many years I've been talking about that. I gave up to other things. I think it metastasized into debating the Arab-Israeli situation, where I was on the opposite side as Lou. And then, of course, there's been many debates and on this and that subsequent, such as COVID, etc., and who planned the pandemic. But it's all coming up to a resolution, it would seem. I suspect that the next year and a half are going to be the most consequential in maybe 100 years. But we shall see. Can't really speak to anyone about anything really. My mother seems to think that the Conservatives can have another go at putting things right. She thinks that Trump's a monster and Putin's worse. All points directly taken from the BBC and Sky, which all she watches. Poor mother, 88 years old. I didn't have the heart to argue with her. But whoever I speak to, I will find there'll be many major points of contention about many things. Maybe that's the nature of the beast, is division. I don't normally bore anyone with my thoughts on being Jewish, because it's not something which is primarily my focus anyway. But I will say that anti-Semitism's been ramped up incredibly recently, both as a seeming tool to split the right wing, as well as the usual that you expect from the Islamic Left Alliance, which is now metastasized into the Green Party, who in crazy times like this, you never know, they might be the next government, because I think Labour have burnt all their bridges, and we have just true sectarianism in the UK. All the things I was inarticulating really years ago seem to be coming to fruition, and now there'll be I guess another migration problem with Iranian refugees leaving war zone. Of course, Iran's another thing which divides everyone on several fronts. You can't even trust the news. You don't know what snippet of you're being told is right or wrong. You don't know the motivations for war even. So I'll just sit back and observe. For what it's worth, from my perspective, I think it will all be over by April, and I think very shortly after Iran falls, I think that Cuba is going to fall as well. But what do I know? I could be wrong as well. I'm only going from the sources that I watch, but whatever it is, war is a great distraction, and I think that there's the financial reset and whatever may come after it is getting more and more obvious and closer. So we shall see what happens there. But yes, um, got so many things. I've just been walking around with the camera pointing out. There are many things that we've done, more things that you need to actually have done. Going into our air-conditioned oasis, which is at least it's so hot out there that oh, it's such a pleasure to be in here. It really is. But yes, I'm grateful to be here in the isolation of rural Thailand. There were some tourists who were complaining that they were stuck in Phuket, trying to get back to the UK with no flights at all for 2 weeks. Couldn't get anything through Dubai for obvious reasons. Couldn't fly around the other side because all the flights are like incredibly expensive. You'd be talking about 10,000 quid to get around via Japan. So anyway, as I say, I'm glad to be here for the time being. I we talked briefly about England. I suspect that as I talked about the, um, the Pluto entering Aquarius, I think it's entering 2 decades of revolution, and so I'm going to go for a big prediction, which is somehow, as amazing as it may seem, Rupert Lowe will be the UK's Donald Trump, and people will see Farage as being a clandestine keeper of the status quo, and will get set to a side, and there'll be like a Cromwellian government coming up in the UK within the next few years. Anyway, time will tell. Hope you're both well. Catch you later.